Friday morning. Good morning. As always, if you need a prop of any kind with you near your mat, please just have all those things ready. A block, a bolster, a couch cushion, a rolled blanket, anything that might give you a little extra support or bring the ground to you if you're working through some things. Okay, well, join me on your mat. And we'll start in a kneeling position. As is the custom for most of my classes, and if you cannot sit on your shins to begin, that's totally fine. Bring your legs in front of you, or out long, or cross to the knees. Whatever feels most accessible for a few moments of grounding. And grounding, even if you just kind of rolled out of bed and into this class, still taking that moment of pause to connect with what's going on sensationally. And if you could imagine maybe like casting a web towards all of the thoughts you might be having and just kind of drawing that web in until all of the thoughts form like just one thought, and just place that back into your skull. Just acknowledging that you have thought, but it's not ruling the roost, it's not ruling the moment. And then just feeling your breath. No breath manipulation here to begin. Just breathing fluidly, noticing your nostrils and the breath in your throat, maybe through the mouth even. Good morning. And today is a new moon in the sign of Gemini, which means the sun is moving into Gemini, and it will be in Gemini for the length of its time, a few weeks here. And if you're unfamiliar with astrology, that's okay. I just use it sometimes to theme my classes. And so when I was thinking about this class yesterday and the new moon in Gemini, Gemini is symbolized by the twins. And you know, what does that mean? That there's two of something, or that there's two sides to every coin. And if you start to study more of the philosophies, there are a lot of dualistic philosophies and then non-dualistic philosophies. And so I love the idea of the paradox, right? There's always going to be like two options in a sense, and then one of those options will split into another option, and we just keep making these series of choices based off the options at hand and acknowledging their opposing options. And if you've ever in your life had a situation where someone said you have to pick a side, you have to choose, right? Sometimes that's not always in agreement with how your body kind of resonates, right? Because very often we're using one side maybe more than the other, but you begin to notice, or we can begin to notice, when we're too fixed to one side, we're going to throw the balance off, right? And so just taking a moment to acknowledge, so I'm right side dominant, and so I tend to use my right side more. And because of that, I notice some discrepancy on the left side of my body. And just very simple, just start to notice like what might you do more, where you can start to begin to acknowledge the discrepancies and not labeling them as bad or worse, but just acknowledging that and seeing if today we can move with a bit more sense of how can I create harmony in my movements, and how can I create harmony through my breath thus encouraging more harmony within. Okay, let's get to it. Come to downward facing dog right away to start this morning. Take a couple moments to press into your hands. As you lift your legs up, and allow your balance, once you have your hands and your feet are rooted, to shift into the left hand and foot. And just feel that for a moment, a breath or two. And then shift into the right hand and foot. And then back to the left hand and foot. One more time over to the right hand and foot. And then find a neutral way to hold yourself here, where you're as equally possible, pressing through your right hand and your left hand, your right foot and your left foot. And then just gently encourage a bit of hugging towards the spine. And then whichever your non-dominant foot is, go ahead and step that one forward first. And then step the other foot forward until you're in a fold. Clasping the elbows with the fingers, a little sway perhaps. Again, noticing the weight transfer between both feet. And up both legs to the lower back. And then let's start to lift the spine forward. Press into the big toes, start to engage the inner legs. Release the arms and reach them wide. And then start to point through your pointer fingers and close the rest of your fingers together. Let the thumb kind of hook those other three fingers down to your palm. And then stand yourself up and keep reaching your pointer fingers away from your chest. Take a moment and connect with the heart space. Reaching the arms away. And then internally rotate your right arm as you look over your right pointer finger. And then externally rotate the left arm. So I'm going to turn for a moment if you need to see that. So the right finger starts to turn the arm and point away. Left finger starts to roll up as the shoulder rolls out. And then begin to look to your left shoulder, internally rotate from your left shoulder and reach your right finger away as you externally rotate that shoulder. And then one more time, right shoulder internally rotates, look over the right hand, relax the neck. And then left side, one more time, internally rotate as you externally rotate your right arm. And then let's drop both arms down, swing them out and back up. Look to your fingers, move them a little bit until your palms touch overhead. And then lean into your left leg and send your right foot out a few times, just pressing out and up. And then right foot down, left leg out and up a few rounds. And then step so your feet are a bit wide, reach up through your arms, lower as slowly as you can towards the squat. And if your squat is just here, then let it be here. Let's do whatever squat you can do without rocking forward into your feet and popping your heels off of the floor. So no need to touch the earth. This is low as you can, as equally spreading through your feet as possible. And then join me on your back. Extend your legs out, reach your arms out, like a big pentacle shape. Inhale and exhale, let everything go, let the belly relax, let the chest relax, let the neck relax. We'll begin to lift the left leg and the right arm. Once they're up over their joints, take a little scoop of the belly and try to touch the hand to the foot. And then reach back, relax the head and neck. Right leg, left arm, lift up. A little squeeze in the middle from the center of your navel or wherever you sense the center of your torso here. And then down. Left leg, right arm. Lift. No rush here. Move more slowly so you can really feel everything working. Lift. One more time. Left leg, right arm. Lift up. Last time, right leg, left arm. And relax down. Shake your ankles and then point and flex through the feet a few times. It's going to start to rock your legs. It'll almost feel like you're nodding your head. Just really rapidly push and pull through the toe mouth. And then let's inhale through the nose, and when we exhale, we're going to open the mouth and stick out the tongue and then look up towards the sky. Stop the shaking, draw your knees into your chest, rock and roll a few times. And know if the forward and back doesn't necessarily work right away, you can always rock side to side. Come to the feet, and then slowly stand up. Let's take an inhale, sweeping the arms. As we exhale, lean to the right. Drop the right hand down to the waist. Let's keep picking up both armpits, both armpits and waist, instead of just collapsing into the right side. So keep lifting both up and over, creating that arc. And then look under the left arm. Bend your knees a little bit here. And then to come out of it, keep the knees bent. Swim the left arm back. Drop your chest. And then bring the backs of your hands together in front of you. And then lift up to stand. Both arms reach. Lean over to the left. While you do that, keep lifting the left waist as well. And then drop the left arm. Look under the right arm. And then bend the knees. And roll the heart forward. Sweep the arms back. It's like you're lengthening from your tailbone to the back of your skull. And then backs of the hands together. Inhale, lift the arms up as you lift your chest. Exhale and forward fold. Lengthen the heart forward. Step the right toes back. Let that knee move forward as the heart lifts up. And then step back, downward facing dog. Grab forward high plank. To the belly. Cobra. Press into the big toe if you can, and the first toe or second toe there. And then back to downward facing dog. Right leg will lift. And step between the hands. This time we'll take a little twist, open up to the right. As you open to the right, notice how the left side supports you. And then step forward to fold at the top of the mat. Round into your spine, bend your knees, press your hands back. And then backs of the palms together as you lift your heart up. Inhale, forward fold, exhale. As you lengthen the spine, left toes step back, lower the hips. Let your right knee shift forward if it's okay for your ankle and your Achilles here at the back of the calf. And downward facing dog. Reach your left leg high and step it forward. This time a twist open to the left. Notice how your right side supports you. And then step forward and fold at the top of the mat. Press the hands back as you bend your knees. Backs of the hands together. Inhale, lift up. Exhale and fold. Lengthen the heart. Right toes back. Knee down. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale back to downward facing dog. High plank pose. Lower to the belly. Cobra. Downward facing dog. Right leg to the sky. Step between the hands. Open up to the right. Lean into the left arm. Step forward and fold. Bend your knees, press the hands back. Backs of hands together. Inhale, lift the spine up. Exhale to fold. Lengthen the heart. Left toes step back, knee down, lift the heart up. Inhale to downward facing dog. Exhale. High plank to your low plank. Cobra upward facing. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. And step between the hands. Lean into the right arm, lift the left arm into your twist. And exhale, step forward to fold. Press the hands back around the spine. And then roll yourself up to stand. Lift the arms. And hands through heart. Lean into the left leg, send the right leg out. And then we're going to bend the right knee and lift the leg up through here, through the center. And then we'll press the leg back. Swing it down and out. Lift it up. And then press it back. Swing it down and then out. Lift it up. Press it back. And then one more time as we open it out. This time we'll hold, lift it up. Bend into your left knee, lean back a little bit. And then take your right ankle over your left thigh and sit just a little lower. One more breath. Take your right leg and press it back as you lower your left hand to the floor into half moon. As you do that, keep a generous bend in your left knee as it's early and we haven't really done too much extra with the outer hips yet. And then close the hands down, step the right foot back, lower the right knee. We'll hold this lunge. Take your hands to your lower back today. Press into your right big toe and that second toe. And let the right thigh lift up and back instead of curling down and under. So the outer thigh wraps this way. Squeeze the right glute. Drag back just lightly through the left heel. Last breath. Plant the palms. Lift that up. Step back to downward facing dog. And we'll rock forward into the high plank. Your choice of travel, back to down dog. A slow breath in and out. Press the right leg to the sky. Let's point the toes, reach through that big toe and second toe. And then pull the knee to the nose. And then step the foot out towards the right wrist. So there's a little bit of an angle. And then just rock in that hip socket a few times. And then once you have space in your right leg, go in and root your left heel to the floor. And walk your hands over to the left. Hang the head. One more breath. Walk yourself back through the center. Lift your left heel towards the sky. Left hand down, take a twist. Left knee lifting. And then right hand to the floor. Step forward. And then bring our feet together if they're wide and fold. Rolling up to stand, reach the arms up overhead. And bring the hands to the heart center. Okay, we'll lean into the right leg. There's a sense of not just dropping the leg down, but lifting the pelvis up as well. Press your left leg out. Pull the knee through the middle towards the chest, and then swing it back. Press it down and out, up through the chest, and then press it back. Down and out, up through the chest. Press it back one more time. We'll hold it up, turn the ankle, cross it over the right thigh, and just sink down. Just a little bit, figure four. Last breath. And we'll swing the left leg back, bring the knee to the earth, untuck the toes. Hands to the lower back. Ignite that left thigh now. Press into the big toe and the first toe. Lift the heart. Try to use that left glute. And hands to floor. Take it back to downward facing dog. High plank pose. Your choice of travel to down dog. Left leg lifts to the sky. Point the toe, point the big toe rather. Let the inner thigh roll up. And then step that foot, swing it wide towards the wrist. And you can rock there a little bit. Get into the hip joint. Make sure the skin feels like it's moving away from the torso. And then once you have that, root your right heel down. And walk your hands over to the right. Look down and underneath you or towards your back foot. Try not to lock out your back leg, but support yourself. Lift the kneecap, lift the thigh as you root the outer edge of that foot. And walk your hands through the middle. Lift the right leg up. Root the right arm. Open the chest. And this time we'll step back into downward facing dog. Just pausing here at the back of the mat, taking notice of your legs. And then let's step the right foot to the hands. And from here, half moon pose. And then close it down at the top of the mat. Take a fold. Roll your spine up to stand. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Hands through heart center. And just take a moment, sending the breath down to the feet. And maybe closing the visualizing, trying to notice the angle of your pelvis. And if one side feels like maybe it's just a little bit higher than the other. And then the way in which you can soften around the knee joints and settle into your feet a little differently until you feel a sense of balance or equilibrium across your pelvis. And just using some deep internal awareness. And just using that sense of quiet listening, that deep listening. Last breath. When you're ready, you'll shift into chair pose at the top of the mat. Keep that awareness of the angle of your pelvis. So for me, one side is just a tiny bit shorter, so I'm going to bend a little bit more to the side that's taller. Draw the knees together. And then lengthen the tail down as you lift the back of the heart. Let's bring the elbows up and then open. 2 more times, elbows up. And then open, head might lean back, elbows up. And then open, we'll hold here and release the hands behind your back. One more breath. Lift up, close the throat, look down and full. Lengthen your heart halfway, travel to downward facing dog. You can step back or add your vinyasa, or you can skip it this time. Okay, from here, let's do left leg first. Lift the left leg, point to the big toe. And then swing the foot between the hands. Root the right heel down. Rise yourself up until you're just about halfway over that thigh with your torso. And then lengthen through the leg. Tailbone towards the inner right heel. And then just let your left arm dangle until it finds the left calf. Lift the navel up as you spread the right arm over and up. Triangle pose. Utilizing the press of both legs. And then imagining space within the joints, especially the hips where there's that ball and socket. And so imagining space around the ball, and then space between the socket and the ball. One more breath. Push into your right foot to lift yourself up, and let's parallel the feet. For this, we'll bend the right knee and sit back instead of over. So back as you bend the right knee. And then once you feel a sense of just like dropping that right thigh, reach your right hand towards your left ankle and lean your heart forward. Left hand towards the right ankle. And then you're gonna pull the right elbow up and turn the heart under. So it's right elbow up and under. And if you're doing this without the bind, it might look like this. Hands crossed underneath you, right arm is in front, and the elbow lifts up and you let your head drop. Last breath. Press to your right foot, uncross, stand up. Warrior 2 into your left thigh. Reach the arms apart. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Maybe closing the eyes or fix that gaze over the left middle finger. Make sure the knee's not sickling in like mine just wanted to. Let it wrap out. And cartwheel the hands to the floor. Lift your right heel up. Give yourself a little bit of a rock here. And then second time, half moon pose into your left leg. Press down, lift up, turn the heart open to the right. We'll close back down into lunge. Step back to downward facing dog. And then your choice, you can roll through vinyasa if you'd like, or just be back in downward facing dog. Give yourself a few moments of slow breath. Connecting again with the weight across both hands and both feet. Press the right toes to the sky. Push through the big toe, let the thigh wrap up. And then swing it to the hands. Drop into that thigh. And root to the back heel. We'll slowly rise up for triangle. Keep a little lean forward of the heart. Let the right arm angle down as you secure the right leg. And then the left arm sweeps over the ear and then up as the navel helps turn the heart. Try not to push yourself forward and lock out into your left hip socket there. Instead, lean back, create space through the socket. Space in the low back. The heart turns up with the ribs. And then press into your left foot to stand yourself up. And let's parallel the feet. You can shorten the stance just a bit. We're going to bend the left knee and send the seat back. So right back. Again, not over, just back. Feel it just drop till you have your foot and your thigh nice and firm. And then reach the left hand over to the right ankle. And then reach your right arm under to your left shin or ankle. And then lift the left elbow up. Let the head hang down. Then you might look up under the left armpit. Release that, swing through the middle, press up to stand. Turn your right toes out, warrior two. Lift up through the left pelvis, or the right pelvis. Leaning into your left leg, open your arms. Looking forward. One more breath. Bring the hands down to the floor. Lift that back heel, and then one more time, half moon pose. Right leg is the base. And then land it back into a lunge. Step back to downward facing dog. And then we'll bring your knees to the floor and sit back. Let's take a moment in child's pose, reaching the arms forward. And as you do that, reach. Notice if one arm wants to go a little further than the other, and try and make your fingertips equal there and arch the top of the mat. And then find the very center of your forehead as you relax through the skull. And then breathing equally and evenly on both sides of the body. And then slowly rock forward until you're in your hands and knees. Pull your right hip in and drop your right shoulder back to your right hip. And then come through center. Pull your left hip in and drop your left shoulder back towards your left hip. And then one more time, right hip towards right shoulder. And left hip towards left shoulder. And then slide your right shin forward and then swing your left leg around as you come down into the seat. Okay. Leaning back a little bit. Lift the right arm up. And then as you turn towards your left, spin around your navel, and then just relax the right arm and hold your left thigh. From here, maybe swing your left arm behind your back and hook it on the right hip. Last breath. Unwind, keep your left leg on top and just close the shin down until you're in your Gomukhasana with your knees crossed. You can walk your right shin out a little bit. From here, hugging the hip joints towards your center, maybe leaning forward lightly. Or you can hold the ankles today if you like. Start to lean back, let your knees lift up a little bit with you, and then hug both sides of your left foot as you draw the thigh to your chest. And then just take your right leg out, or you can keep it bent. I'm going to press into the center of the left foot, and then we'll slowly lift that heel up, lifting the heart, lengthening the lower back. And then I want you to activate your left leg. Draw the quad towards the floor and release it. And then 3 times we'll lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, and then release. Okay. Take a moment and just kind of swing that out. Hips a little bit, and then we'll take the second orientation with the left leg down and the right leg over for a twist. Spinning around, use the spine, and then you might hug that right shin with the left arm, and then the right arm might swing behind the back. Finish your exhale, unwind, and then keep sliding your right shin across your left until the knees are closer to stacked. And then from your Gomukhasana, a little forward lean if you'd like. Last breath. We'll lean back, unhook that right leg, and reach for the right foot, pulling the thigh towards your chest, pressing into the center of the arch for movement. Left leg can stay bent, or you can extend it in front of you. And just breathing. And then start to press up through that leg. And then really engage through the quad, drive down, and release the leg. Heart lifts, and then 3 times. 1, 2, pulsing the leg, 3, and then release. Want to bend your knees. And let's do bringing the feet together, a little forward fold, and then pressing the feet out, a little fold. And just using your body weight. And don't let this be an extreme stretch. So not trying to go to the extremes, but just warming and awakening the range of motion, or at least acknowledging the range of motion. And then next time your legs come out long, pause there. As you bring your heart forward, just noticing if you are leaning more one way or the other. And see if you can utilize the length of your legs and find an equal release around the sacrum and your sitting bones. To lean forward with a sense of harmony. And then slowly sit up. Internally rotate your thighs, turning the big toes down. And then externally rotate your thighs, turning the pinkies towards the floor. One more time, internally rotate. Let this start up at the joint. The foot and ankle will follow. And then out from the joint. And in true order, the ankle, then the foot will follow. A little out of order there. And then up through the middle. Let's keep the legs extended. You can always take this posture with your knees bent. Leaning back onto the hands. I'm going to turn my fingers to the side today. Thumbs are down. And just start to lift up the heart. Press the toes forward. Lift the thighs up. Push through the big toes as much as you can. Reach the heart back. Head might lean back. Last breath. Lower the seat down. Round the spine and relax the chin to the chest. We'll just pause here, exploring any sensation in the upper back. So there's a rounding. Shoulders lifting towards the ears, head heavy. Relax the belly. And then sit up so you can lean back. Take your non-dominant leg. So mine will be the left non-dominant leg in. Keep the pelvis and the sacrum on the floor and just squeeze that thigh down. And then cross it over the body into twist. Roll onto the back. Extend both legs. And then draw your dominant leg in, give it a squish down. Don't let the back come off of the floor. Let's anchor down through the back. And then just relax around the leg and around the front of the hip joint. Relaxing pelvic floor, relaxing the belly. And then cross the leg over the body slowly into your twist. Coming on to the back. Let's take a moment to extend the legs once again. Just kind of shake out. drawing your non-dominant leg in first, and then your dominant leg to root your feet. Let's press into the non-dominant foot and start to lift up towards bridge, and then come into the dominant foot and kind of swing the hips back down. So just taking some circles, pressing into the non-dominant foot up, over into the dominant foot and down. Do that 3 times. And then go the second way, up, into the dominant foot, and the non-dominant foot and down, up, and down. Last time, just rolling the hips. And then swing the pelvis through the middle, lift it off the floor still. And become your bridge. Lift yourself into your bridge. Notice how you want to bring the weight. And again, encourage harmony across the feet, up the inner legs into the glutes. Feel it lengthen the backs and lean into the shoulders. Notice if you're lifting one side of the heart more than the other. Last breath. Slowly lower. And rock your knees side to side. Just check our time here, see where we're at. Okay, we have some time to add in this last posture. Extend your right leg again and draw your non-dominant leg, which is my left leg. So let me re-say that. Extend your dominant leg and draw your non-dominant leg in again. And this time we'll press that leg up to the ceiling. You might hook behind your thigh or begin to slowly reach up to the foot. Let your spine be a little rounded here, but as much of your back on the floor as possible, head and shoulders can lift up. And then hooking your big toe with your left peace sign fingers, or your right peace sign fingers, whichever arm matches that leg, you'll lean back, press into your supporting leg as you open the leg that's in the air. As you open it, you're pressing it out and drawing the quad in. Find that reciprocity. Last breath. And bring the leg up through the middle. And release it down the mat. Shake it out. And now draw your dominant leg in. Keep anchoring through the non-dominant leg. Press it up to the sky, toes down, towards your nose. Slide your hands up until you can hold that foot. Most of your back on the floor. And then hooking the big toe with your peace sign fingers, same arm to leg. Let it press out and open as you anchor your opposing leg down to the floor.
breath. Draw the leg in, extend it to the floor, then shake it out. Okay. Choosing your rest, if you'd like to be here on your back for another few moments. Maybe you want to curl onto one side, or you can join me seated. I'm going to come back into hero's pose like we began. In some place where you feel you can approach quiet and you can approach more still. And just giving yourself the opportunity to be without urgency, without clinging or need or desire, or essentially many words for control, trying to control the moment instead of allowing ourselves to be a part of the moment. And just invite that in. Invite the release of the practice. And then just begin to notice one side of the body, whichever side that is that comes through. Acknowledge it, awaken it, and then notice and awaken the second side of the body, and allowing those awakenings to blend into somewhat of a balance somewhere in your center. And then bringing balance to the heart. And feeling a sense of gratitude for the self, for your practice. And then allowing that gratitude to ripple outwards and just let it land wherever it needs to land today. And as you approach this weekend, I hope that you feel balanced and harmonious within and without. And as always, thank you so much for spending some time here practicing with us at Flex and Flow and with me. Be well. Namaste. Thank you so much. Let us know if you ever have questions. Reach out, email, shoot us a DM on Instagram, and then just check our schedule for our Zoom classes and some fun and exciting things that are coming through during this stay in place situation. Thank you so much. Well.